Hey guys, welcome back to another Plan With Me. In today's Plan With Me, we are actually doing a collab video with my girl Crystal from the Crystallina Perspective. Make sure you guys go check out her video. I will link it in the cards as well as down below. We'll be using this kit from Chic Prints called Coffee. Yes, please. Such a cute kit. It has rose gold foil, lots of things to use. You got the full boxes, the washi, you got some cut washi that has the glitter in it. You have this page here that has the check boxes and some little deco pieces. You got a whole thing full of boxes, and then here you got an additional set of date covers and the glitter washi. So let's go ahead and get into it. So for this collab video, we're actually going to talk about our nursing paths here. So while I'm putting anything down, if there's anything that you guys are interested in that I put in my spread, just leave me a comment and I'll go back and answer you on where things are from. So my nursing career actually started when I was 12. I had to do a project in the 7th grade, and I was very interested in like babies and children. So I ended up doing my project on obstetrics and gynecology, which is a specialty within nursing and medicine. And as I was doing the project, I said, oh, I think I really want to do this. However, I always felt that as my personality was, it didn't really coincide with like being a doctor. So I said, oh, well, you know what? I'll be a nurse. And that's kind of where it all started for me. And ever since then, I've always told my family, I wanted to be a nurse. I'm going to be a nurse. I was always Nurse Joia. I was always helping anybody who got a boo-boo or a cut or anything. Like that was always my role, ironically. So that's kind of how it all started for me. And I can tell you one thing. I am very grateful and happy for the chosen path that I discovered at such a young age. And this is truly like my life's passion. I thoroughly enjoy nursing, even when I'm stressed out, when I'm tired, when I don't go to the bathroom all day, when I don't eat until very late, when I'm crying or upset and praying with my patients. I truly love what I do. I really, really do. Before nursing, my, typical teenage jobs, I worked in retail, and then I ended up getting a job in banking as a teller. And I started that job probably after my very first semester in nursing school, which was a whole thing itself, because I started my undergrad at one school and realized very quickly how tedious their admission process was for their nursing program. And I ended up finding other people who were kind of in the same predicament as me, and someone told me about the nursing school that I went to. So that's how I ended up getting into the whole nursing school. But prior to that, I was working in the bank. I can tell you the biggest hurdles that I've ever had in nursing was actually getting into nursing school. I was 3 years undergrad before I got admitted into nursing school, to a point that I was getting ready to change my major, because I just thought, oh, you know what? Maybe this is not for me, because I was truly struggling getting admitted into a school. But I got into the school that I did with the help of my one friend that actually told me about it. So I appreciate him for the rest of my life for introducing me to that school, because that I definitely was getting ready to change my major. And I mean, I really didn't want to, but I was, because trying to get into school was just like the worst. And then after that, my next biggest hurdle was getting into the hospital. Most nurses, and you can talk to anybody, whether they are a nurse or they're a student, most people dream of being into a hospital. And where I live and work is one of the most prestigious hospitals and health systems in the US, and I I always wanted to be there because I didn't live far from there. I always knew I'm like, hey, when I become a nurse, I'm going to go work there. And that wasn't how it started for me. My very first nursing job was inside of the county that I live in's jail, which was interesting within itself. I I definitely did want to, but the manager that I was hired under was amazing. I love her and wish her nothing but the best because she gave me some really sound advice. I told her what my dream was, and she said, okay, you know what, go. I'll wait and see if you get into the hospital because I had applied. She said, if not, I'll hold the position, and if you want it, it's yours. And I appreciated her for that. And then she also gave me some sound advice of not becoming complacent and staying inside of the jail for long. And I'm really glad that I listened to her, even though I really became more determined to get out because I was really burnt out. But her advice always stuck out to me, and it always like was in the back of my mind, like, Joia, do not sit here, do not be here forever. Like, this is not what you want. Go for what you want. Speaking of what I want, originally my thought was always to go back to school and become a nurse practitioner. And if you guys seen any of my nursing plan with me, you hear me talk about it all the time. But when I discovered that nurses can pretty much become a practitioner, which is almost equivalent to becoming a medical doctor, I said, okay, that's the way I want to go. And then I knew that I wanted to go into obstetrics and gynecology, just like I thought about when I was younger. But after talking with a few people, I realized that I was not 100% sure if I wanted to do that. So then I thought about having a dual certificate, doing acute care and also OBGYN. So then if I wanted to do either or, I could. And acute care means I can work inside of the hospital, where it's like family you see at a family practice, like outside of the hospital. But more and more, I'm even more unsure if that's what I want to do, especially now that I am, recently engaged and will be starting a family. By the time that I am ready to, start clinicals, if I was to start school in the spring, it'll be time for me to probably also start my family. So, there's a lot of things that I'm thinking about now, but overall, it's still something that I am thinking about. I am still going to take my GRE because I need that to apply to one school that I am interested in. But, we'll kind of see. I think about it. I pray about it. I talk about it. I get advice. And what is for me will come for me, because that's pretty much how my entire nursing profession has been. It comes for me when it's time. So I'm waiting. That's all. I am waiting. So lastly, I just want to kind of give any advice to anyone that may be thinking about going into nursing or know someone who's interested in nursing. I say, whether you are fresh out of high school, if this would be a second career, if you happen to already retired from a previous career or job, do it. If that's what you want to do it. In school, I worked with someone who actually was able to collect Social Security. I've also went to school with someone who was a retired detective. You hear me? Retired detective. There were plenty of people who this was a second career, and there was some people who was a first career. There were some people who was in the military. There were some people who was fresh out of high school. I went to school with a range of people, and everybody all had that same passion, whether it comes to you early in life or late in life. I'm just saying, just go ahead and do it. it's going to be probably one of the most difficult things in your life that you ever do. That I would not sugarcoat. Nursing was probably one of the hardest things that I've ever done in my life. However, it has also been the most rewarding thing I have ever done in my life. And I would not trade that for the world. And now I'm getting emotional. I absolutely love what I do. And I encourage anyone that hears my voice today to do the same. If it's something that you love, if it's something that you're passionate about, do it. Because at the end of the day, you're the only person that's stopping you from doing what you love. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate you guys for taking the time out and hearing my nursing story. Bye now.